if anybody's watching right now and they're not a member of the Catan community on Discord, which is sort of the matches that I'm playing here in the league and all of that sort of stuff, I did create a command. So the CC command is basically just a link to that Discord channel. And yeah, I recommend that anybody who's interested in, Settlers of Catan and playing games and being part of communities and that sort of thing, join. I assume most of the people that sort of might be watching me right now will join. But if you're watching on YouTube in the future, maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I do put it in kind of the description of my videos somewhere there. There's a link to the Catan community Discord channel as well. So if you're watching this in the future, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and yeah, definitely join the community. Very, very nice community. So it is going to be us as the second pick on this board. We're playing with Boromir, so I did notice that Boromir was trying to start like a 3-player game. Notice he does this a lot. He has this sort of other kind of like type of game. So he likes to play 3-player up to 11, I want to say, and with no trading, or like he sort of has this sort of, let's call it format of a game that he prefers to play. But he did join myself and D-Tools, and the red player is Groff. I'm not familiar with Groff, I don't believe. Yeah, I mean, the best aura on the board is that 4. Maybe we go for that. Yeah, it's a pretty low ore board in that context. The 5, 9, 10 here looks quite appealing as well. If I do go on the 4, 8, 3, how do I get sheeps and bricks in this? Yeah, it's going to be a very tricky second placement kind of scenario based on what I'm seeing right now. Maybe I go for the 8, 5, 10 with the idea that I should be able to get on the 6. I want to say that it's... But even if I do that, I'm not going to have sheep, so that's really tricky as well. Very problematic, I have to say. So if I go with this one, I mean, the only wheat ore combo is going to be like a 3-11, if that. However, if I do this, maybe I can kind of aim for the sheep port and play kind of a... Okay, we'll try this. I think this is kind of the safer option. I feel like if I go for the ore, like it's not enough ore to really have like a, ore-dominated kind of game here. I mean, unless the 4 rolls like crazy, which is possible, but I don't want to rely on that. So I think if I do this 5, 9, 10, and then with my second settlement here, I get some wheat somewhere. We could set ourselves up here for something quite decent. I mean, there is the off chance that I, go completely crazy here with like the 6, 9, 3, and just kind of rely on the sheep port here to be able to kind of build things up in some way. But I guess even the 6, 9, 2 isn't bad in that sense, because at least at least I'm giving myself that 1 wheat to start with, which will be kind of that first settlement. I mean, I can see myself going for the 6, 9, 2. And that also kind of creates that option for me to later maybe expand to the 6, 3, maybe double up on the 6 on its own. Maybe the 3, 1 port is kind of something that I need to be mindful of as well. It would be good to have a 3, 1 port this game, I think. But yeah, we'll see what we're left with here in the end. I mean, I imagine like somebody is going to eventually take the 3, 4, 8, which was one of the things that I was kind of considering there. And then, yeah, see how we go. I think the 5, 9, 10 is kind of the safest option as far as like picking second here and making sure that when it comes back to us and we take the 7th settlement, we're going to be at least in a position where we're not, it's not going to be a horror show, I hope. Anything is possible, though. Yeah, I will, okay, so I don't know if I updated the scorecard, but let's just see. Yeah, that is the previous stream, where I was 0 for 3, which is Speaking of horror stories, that's pretty terrible. But I have noticed, we'll look at this later actually, because I am kind of curious to see sort of what my win rate on Colonist is. I do think that it's actually improved quite a bit. It seems like I'm doing a lot better when I'm not streaming games. I don't know if there's a some kind of correlation with streaming and not doing well in a game, versus just kind of doing better when I'm not streaming. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have a look at my win rate on Colonist. I'm kind of curious to see where I'm at now. I think a couple of weeks ago when I started playing in the community, I sort of mentioned that, when you think about it, 95 or 98% of the games that I'm playing are 4-player games, so if I'm winning 25% of them, I kind of look at that as, okay, I'm an average player, right? But and for a while there I was like below 25, like around 2022. Then I started to kind of, move my way up to 25, 26, and I think last I checked, which is like, 2-3 days ago, so I've played a few games since then, but I did go above 30. I think it was like 32% win rate, which is, 32% win rate is pretty solid, I think. So, yeah, hopefully on stream today I'll, be able to pull out a couple of wins. I'm thinking I'll probably play, maybe 3 or 4 games today on stream, and then, kind of start my day. It is, 9 o'clock in the morning almost here in Australia where I live, so so the 8-3-4 is taken. Definitely kind of amazing that spot is left for the 4th player, but again, I think like for the 4th player it's much easier to kind of work with because you're immediately picking another settlement, so you are able to at least pair that up with something quite reasonable. Whereas in my instance, like if I take that, what am I going to be left with when it comes back to me as the 7th sort of choice here? So yeah, don't know what they do. I think they would like to get more wheat somewhere. But there's not really a lot of kind of good combo spots. The 6-3-11 actually isn't the craziest idea for them. So just kind of doubling up on the bricks and, kind of putting yourself in a good road building position, dominating the northern part of the board here. Will anybody take the 4-11? If anybody does it, it's green, and I just don't see them doing that either, so yeah. If I could take the 3-10-11, I think I'd do it. But that's not really strong enough either for me. The interesting thing here is I think red is actually going to have a really strong setup in the end here. But yeah, this is going to be this is actually like looking at the board, this low ore situation, like the wheat is kind of, the wheat is not convenient for anyone. Yeah, so the 6-3-9. So going for like high production here, definitely the black player. Also preventing me from kind of dominating the sheep here. So I'm not going to be able to take the 2-6-9 or the 3-6-9, which were, those were ideas that I did have. Does green take the 4-11 if they're left with it? Because I'm thinking maybe, I take the 3-6-11, but nobody's going to take the 11-12. So if I take the 3-6-11, it's ugly, but like, this might be the 3-1 port that I take, and at least then my production is decent. I can kind of build that triangle over here. So 3-6-11, 11-12, 6-12. If I'm lucky and I can achieve all of that, maybe I'm in with a chance because I'm going to be producing like all of the clay. Yeah, somehow the 5-8-10 was left as well. That's like so much production. Where's the tree port? Yeah, so red is never getting the tree port, which is good news. Okay, so green is going to potentially want trees and ore. I mean, the 3, 10, 11 feels pretty good here. I take the 3, 10, 11. I mean, is he going to take the 4, 9, 11? That's sort of the question that I am asking myself here. I mean, with all of that wheat, is he going to go for this? Because, I mean, if he takes this, it's kind of a disaster for us. So I could try to take this and cut off in this direction, but like I'm sort of praying that I get the clay. Could take the 3, 6, 11 and like hope that I'm able to do this. I mean, okay, actually if he does, okay, so maybe if I do this, he does take the 3, 11 and I can hope to kind of get on the 4, 11. I mean, I'll go with this. I'll pray that he doesn't take the 4, 11, and that he does go for like the 9, 10, 11 or the 3, 10, 11 or something like that. So I think I go here. I think I'm going to be able to get the 4, 11 later. But even if I don't, I think the worst case scenario is that I will end up on the 6, the 11, 12 here with a 3, 1 port. I suspect that Boromir, who is playing with the green pieces here, is going to take some sort of combination here around the 11. So either the 3, 10, 11... I mean, I think the 3, 10, 11 makes the most sense because then he builds down and probably is able to double up on the 11. So I'm leaving Boromir like a really, really good spot here. But if he chooses to block me, I think it's going to be... like, it kind of hurts both of us. Because I think if he goes 4, 11... then red has a very, very kind of strong setup here. So I'm kind of banking on the idea that Boromir goes for like the 9, 10, 11, the 9, 4, 11, the 3, 10, 11, something like that. I think the 3, 10, 11 is the best for them. Wow, okay. The reason I say that is because by going here, he's sort of blocking himself a bit. So if he builds with the 3, 10, 11 and goes down, he should also be the quickest to get onto the 4, 9, 11. And that was sort of what I was thinking of. By going here, he actually eliminated the 2 spots. But yeah, I guess he's... yeah, we'll see what he's going to go for. Well, he does have a road now. Okay, so he's... okay, he wants the tree and the tree port. I see. I mean, that makes sense as well. I just think that, like, because he's going to get the tree port probably anyway. Yeah, I mean, can I get a tree here is the question. I would like to believe that that's a possibility. So black is happy to do it. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely do the trade here. So D-Tools and I, yeah, we're gonna kind of couple up on the 4 ore here. I'm not going to contest the 3-1 port. I think my idea here is to try and do the 4-11 and then kind of build in this direction. So the sheep port is no longer really, I mean, I might take it eventually, like as, you know, a road settle that's kind of the cheap points. But I think in this scenario right now, my goals are pretty clear to me, which is the 4-11 and then try to build up to this 11-12 and get a 3-1 port that way. Obviously settle on the 4 ore as quickly as possible. Yeah, so we don't have any of that. I mean, as I said, with this 5, 9, 10, the good thing here is like we do have, I mean, other than the 3, we do have good production for kind of the settlement kind of building situation. You know, we should get some trees, we should get some sheep here. Yeah, it's a shame that 4s are rolling kind of before we got there. I think I have to go after green. The only question is, where do I go? I mean, the solo block seems kind of ridiculous, to be honest. So maybe I go here and go after green. So can I get a sheep from someone? I'd rather do it for a brick if I can. I feel like D-Tools might do this as well. Yeah, so very happy with that. Again, D-Tools is it's kind of a competition here between green and black for the ports. But like I'm gonna have to sacrifice kind of giving black the port here. Because I think if I give Boromir the port, like it's very, very dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous to give it to D-Tools as well, but I feel like that port for Boromir is kind of too much. So, oh, I forgot to advance my turn. Apologies to my opponents here. Yeah, so we do finally produce our own tree here. And again, our wheat production is very problematic, but I think that once I'm able to get that 3-1 port, yeah, once we're able to get a 3-1 port, and again, like I'm not, it's funny that like I'll have like 3 settlements around the 11, right? Banking on the 11 here. But, another sort of outside benefit, obviously the 3-1 port is the main thing here, but the outside benefit of that is, that one random ore that I'll get from the 12 throughout the game, or maybe 2, like if we get that, that's, kind of this added random bonus that you're not really expecting. Trying to think about this, like, so from a road build perspective, which, yeah, so I did give D-Tools the settlement, I am aware of that. Not ideal, but I think that now kind of D-Tools becomes the target, right? So, yeah, I think we have to continue on here. I'd rather, like, with only 3 cards, it's, there isn't really a great trade that I can make. Yep, so we do have a road in hand again. Yeah, I think the spot to target now is going to be kind of this 8. Kind of curious, like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to beat D-Tools over to this spot. Like that would actually be quite amazing if I'm able to achieve that, but I don't know that it's worth kind of pursuing unless I, somehow get very lucky and kind of pull a dev card that's like the 2 roads. Yeah. Kind of an outside chance of that happening, so. Yeah, D-Tools has been producing a lot of trees, Boromir producing a lot of wheat, so. Okay, D-Tools doesn't do anything. That's a bit surprising. So they're on 8 cards now. Very dangerous, I would say. I think he's saving up for, I think he's trying to save up for a city here. If I had to guess, he's going to try to build a city on the 8-3-4. Yeah, definitely not interested in giving away my ore here. Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to go with this idea. I think that, like, I don't want to hold too many cards. I mean, I think that this is kind of a safe bet for us. If I'm able to get a dev card, maybe I do, but. So what does red do here? Does he go after the 9? Maybe he goes after the ore here. Hits D-Tools. Yeah, so D-Tools just throws away a bunch of sheep there. So if you want a tree, I think you attack D-Tools right now. Yeah, so I was, before, I don't know if I sort of finished that thought, but I was looking at this idea of, whether or not there's a kind of this outside shot that we were somehow able to get the road here. Okay, so he wants a brick for a tree. I mean, I think I have to do it. So he's going to settle on the 3-1, but that also kind of pushes me forward here as well. Yeah, I mean we've been producing the okay. So wow. So he's gonna try to race Boromir here to the 6-2 and get on some sheep. Interesting. I mean, very, very interesting. Okay, I think I take a development card on my turn now. I mean, if we get a knight to be able to kick the robber, that's great. If somehow I get that that sneaky road build though, if I get that sneaky road build, I can really do some damage here. That would be kind of the magical, you know, kind of magical kind of pull out of the dev card deck if I get it, but. Yeah, we'll start with the roll, of course. Okay, so we do get some more wheat. Yeah, as I said, I think we start with a dev card. Yeah, so we do get the knight. I mean, I like the knight. Don't get me wrong. It's just that like the road build here would have been magic, because then maybe I could do that. But I think since we pulled a knight, I'm just gonna build the road up. Kind of ensure that I'm able to get that 3-1 port. And we'll just keep going. And then next turn, if the robber is still on the 4 there, I can, then finally kind of kick it away. A 7 would be really nice right now. Yeah. I mean, D-Tools is really producing a lot of cards. So wheat for a sheep, I'm not interested in doing. I think if he gets a wheat, he's able to do a city by kind of burning through all of his trees here. I imagine that's what he's going for there. Yeah, he's still very close, so he's still able to do it. Okay, yeah. That's what I sort of suspected, that he would be able to kind of get that going. So a 6 is a sheep for D-Tools here. Yeah, I mean I can't do a brick for. I mean I'll do a brick for a sheep and a tree. If he's willing to do that, I'll do this, but. Yeah, I can't do it, Boromir. I apologize. Like, I know that I kind of messed up his game. I'm aware of that, but. Yeah, I just cannot give him. Okay, so he's able to do it anyway. I see. So that was very sneaky of Boromir, because it felt like he was trying to, kind of give away whatever he could just to be able to settle. Why? Okay, hold on. Before we continue this conversation, I'm just gonna go here and hit black. Yeah, I mean that's the honest truth here, right? I just didn't need what he was trading. But I see what he's saying. Like, so he's making a point that is true, right? I was giving everybody 1-for-1 trades, but except for him, right? Like everybody got a 1-for-1 trade for the bricks except him. But I mean, I made an offer, right? Like it's not like I didn't. I was happy to give him a brick, but. Yeah, so Boromir, I think, is slightly saltier, trying to kind of mind trick me here. I mean, Boromir is one of the strongest players in the community by far. It's not even a debate. So, for him to kind of make it as though I'm doing something wrong here, like maybe I am, I don't know, but I mean, there was no point in me kind of doing that. Like, I didn't have the ore to use it anyway and all that sort of stuff, so... Yeah, he can, you know... The only thing I was interested in was trees, and that's what I traded with everyone for, so... That's the only thing that was kind of advancing my agenda there. Yeah, so I assume that red does not have a knight here. I think they would have kicked it away. And I'm sort of wondering, I think D-Tools had the dev card in the last round, but we'll see now. I mean, if they have a knight, they're definitely going to kick it, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. A sheep for a tree, I mean... Doesn't really get me going anywhere here. Yeah, so red wants, like, to trade his trees for anything. It's kind of... Yeah, so black does move his knight. I'm obviously going to kick it straight back to him if I can. Yeah, it's just immediately kind of getting rewarded with the 8 there. Yeah, I mean, I have to go after black and after the 8. I think that's the play for us right now. I mean, red is maybe our competition for the road build, which I guess the 8 also kind of prevents them from doing that, so... Yeah, so D-Tool's going for another dev, you know, very much understandable. Wow, those 8s are just flying right now. Pretty incredible. Yeah, I don't have bricks and I don't have ore. So yeah, obviously we're going over here again. Obviously going after D-Tools. I assumed we were going to get that, so that's kind of good news there. We'll see now if D-Tools did get another knight here. I mean, we're actually playing for army here somehow, some way. So this might be one of those games where somehow we're able to, you know, win without a city. If we can get army and road and like a VP and 5 settlements, that's 10 points. So I'm not sure that that's how this game is going to kind of go, and that's sort of the way that we're going to win this, but, or if we're going to win at all, I should say. But that seems like one of those things that are possible here from our perspective. Okay, so red is trying to prevent us from making the connection. Yeah, if somehow I'm able to get a second road here, I think I have to do it. A sheep for a tree for D-Tools. So D-Tools wasn't able to move it. So what I'll do a sheep for 2 trees. Oh, he has the port, actually. What am I saying? Forgot you have the port. Yeah. I mean, I might do a brick for a tree. That does help him as well, but... Huh. Interesting. I mean, that's very, very interesting. I think at this stage I have to burn and buy a dev here. And if somehow... don't have to connect to take the road in the end. Like, the settlement is much more important in theory. So I can settle, which I think is, I mean, I think a dev card is actually more sensible. I'll do a brick for wheat. So red going for it. Yeah, the settlement is not as important as the dev card. Okay, so we are going to be able to potentially get the army here. Now I'm sort of wondering... Okay, so we gave him a brick. I mean, if he has the Year of Plenty and he's extremely lucky, I'm just wondering if I should build this road here. Yeah, do I? I think we continue on, honestly. Like, I should be able to take army. If red gets lucky, I mean, he could road settle. I'm not sort of... I don't think that's out of the question, but... Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody can give him a brick other than Boromir. Maybe I should have built that road just for, yeah, just for safety measure. Just as a safety measure. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe that was kind of a mistake. Oh, hey, Hikerman. Yeah, the tourney, we played, I don't know how long ago you posted that, by the way. I just noticed that you were in chat there, but yeah, thanks for saying hi. Yeah, so we won our first match out of the 3 and then lost 2 in a row. Okay, so red is going in that direction. Interesting. Yeah, so we won the first one and then we lost 2 and we weren't able to qualify. So that's why I'm kind of streaming now. I sort of figured people would be streaming the finals and playing the finals, and I didn't want to sort of compete with that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's sort of where things ended up for us. So I was playing with Fanstar. I don't know if you've sort of interacted with him, but he's sort of a member of the community, obviously, but also sort of frequents the chat here sometimes. But yeah. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna get army this turn. I think I have to go after red in this instance here. Just looking at it, so a 9 was rolled, so Boromir's gonna have trees. It looks like red is actually gonna have a lot of wheat. I mean, so is green and red are gonna have a lot of wheat, but I think red is the one that's going to have... Yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, so the first instance here, we're gonna go here. I mean, I'm still blocking this, but I'm gonna take from red, hoping I get wheat. I do not get wheat. I do get wheat that way, though, so that's really nice. So, let's see. I mean, I do this. Definitely makes sense. I mean, I'm going to be able to kind of, you know, play the road game anyway. I would have really liked to be able to get another dev card here, but I think that taking that settlement makes the most sense. I'm just wondering now. Okay, yeah, Hikerman. Yeah, he plays quite a lot as well. I think he said he's from Texas. I want to say that that's a fact, but I'm not entirely sure. So that's not going to be able to get taken. Like, what's the best way for me to build the road here? I don't know. Maybe I keep the cards, honestly. I mean, does it really matter, though? Maybe it does. I mean, maybe I need to do this just to kind of make sure that nobody kind of sneaks the road through and... I mean, we're on 9 points, and what I was sort of saying seems like it's kind of happening here. The only question is whether or not I'm going to be able to produce, somehow, you know, get lucky and produce a city here, or kind of continue on with dev cards and eventually pull a victory point while still holding on to the road, which is not, I mean, not a guarantee at all here. I mean, red is definitely competitive for road. I mean, green could even take road eventually if they, you know, if they work at it. Let's put it that way. So, darn, that's a really, really lucky roll there. Yeah, I assume the 6 brick. Maybe the 3 wheat, but okay, the 9 sheep. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to have to continue to try and produce development cards here. I mean, I assume that D-Tools is on 6. He's had this dev card for ages, and it's definitely not a knight. So, yeah, he does take an ore away from us, which slightly hurts my agenda in terms of, you know, kind of that city option. But I mean, once I connect the road, at least I'm on 7. And then, you know, I can kind of continue kind of wrapping around here. Yeah, D-Tool's going for the dev cards here. Interesting. Yeah, the 8s do not help us at all. But yeah, I think in the I have tree to trade, Boromir. Can you take road? I don't think tree is what he's going to need. I mean, he's going to need the bricks. I mean, that would be the more kind of sensible option. Now, what happened in the beginning there with Boromir? What? What is that language? maybe they both. What is that? I don't even know what language that is. That's like, it looks like kind of ancient, kind of Greek kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get a dev card here. And I think I just have to extend the road and just hope that somehow next turn we're going to have cards to be able to do it. It's, yeah, very unfortunate. The other problem is that everybody's going to go after us now, so I think it's one of those games where we're not going to be able to hold on to the road here. Yeah, because of the attacks, we're just not going to be able to sustain. So D-Tools will eventually take army. Boromir or Groff will take the road, and we'll even maybe finish on 5 points, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I just don't think my production is good enough here. Yeah, everybody going for dev cards now. We're just gonna constantly be kind of barraged here, so basically we can't win. I mean, if somehow we roll a 4 or a 3 here, I think we... oh no, that doesn't quite do it. But I should be able to get a dev card here. So that's at least good news. Oh no, yeah, Hikerman Road was taken now as well. So like, there's really kind of there's really no chance. So like, my only chance really now was yeah, never mind. Yeah, exactly. My only chance really is that like the blockage of me sort of stops, and then somehow I'm able to kind of, you know, eventually get there. Yeah, so that's completely random. I mean, I am able to put a city down now, which I probably have to do. Yeah, I have to do just to increase my production here. I don't know that I can... I mean, if I can get road back now, we can win, right? That's... I needed that one extra point from somewhere, and that was kind of the safest point. Now this also gives me more wood production, more brick production. I mean, the sheep could help as well. But yeah, like my hope is now somehow I'm able to swindle the road back, and that could give me the win here. So I need 2 roads at this stage. Don't necessarily know that I'm going to be able to get that going, but I mean, now D-Tool's probably... It's amazing that he actually didn't play the knight yet, so we'll see how we go. I mean, I'm amazed that he didn't like take army, but he could take army for the win now. Huh. Somehow I'm still holding on to army here, which is kind of insane. So if we roll brick, we win here. Yeah, so GG somehow. Wow, Jesus. That was crazy. Wow. Wow. That was bizarre. That was really, really bizarre. I don't understand how he didn't take... Don't understand how he didn't take army. I mean... How did you not get army? I mean, I just thought I was lost completely. I mean, he has 5 development cards, and all he needed to do is to play 1 knight. Wow, he didn't pull any knights. That is so crazy. I mean, to be fair, like, that was very lucky on our part that D-Tools there, the black player, just didn't pull any knights. I mean, I just thought it was over. That was crazy. 1 out of 1 on the scorecard. I like it. That's a pretty good start to the stream. Boromir is looking for a 1 versus 1. Yeah, I'm not playing a 1 versus 1. not against Boromir as well. And not now after he's like a little annoyed at me for the little shiv. But I mean, he is right. So I will say this about, you know, what he was mentioning, but it's also maybe something, I think most people kind of understand this, right? But I'll just kind of put it out there just to kind of clarify what I was chatting about with Boromir. So at the start of the game, Boromir and D-Tools, so green and black in that previous game, and I'll just maybe show the map as well. Because it's worth talking about this, right? So I was way up here, I was kind of dominating the brick production. You know, green and black here, they're like looking for brick. I mean, Boromir was producing some, but obviously not enough. So what Boromir was basically complaining about was that at the start of the game, I was basically allowing red and black to, you know, make trades with me for the bricks. And, you know, black was able to kind of take the tree port eventually. Red was able to almost kind of snatch this spot away from Boromir and get to the sheep production. Eventually, Boromir was able to take that. But by the time Boromir took that, he was kind of annoyed with me, to say the least. You know, for not trading the bricks with him. Now, the only reason I didn't trade bricks with him, to be completely honest, was the trades that he was offering was for stuff that at the time was kind of useless to me, right? So my point was like, okay, I was giving black basically the tree port. By doing that, he kind of helped me get to this 4 ore and to the 3-1 port, right? Those were sort of the trades. That's kind of what I did in the beginning. That set me up for a potential win. That set black up for a potential win. But it kind of hurt green's chances throughout the game. And so in a sense, like when you think about it from a like game theory perspective, right, I was setting up things in a way where, okay, like maybe I am giving black a really good chance here, but one of them is going to get that port eventually, and whoever gets it is going to be the one that I'm probably competing with for the game here. You know what I'm saying? So like, in that context, the game was really between me and D-Tools.